And good morning to everybody, and to everybody, a good morning to you. Thank you for joining me on this blessed Thursday. It's a great day. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about the subtle lives that hide behind compliments, and we're going to be talking about God cannot lie. I started to play. There's a song by, I believe, the Brown Sisters. It says God keeps his promises, but I felt like that'd be too churchy. Kind of like Birdman. Started to pull up on you, but I thought that would have been gangster. So do me a favor, invite somebody, share, tell them that coffee time is on. We're doing it again on this morning. It's so good to see all of you. It is good to be on this morning. It's been a while. This is our second time, I believe, this week, and for that I'm forever grateful. So we're gonna dive right in. You know, you have to watch people. You have to watch their intentions. You have to be able to skillfully know, discern, see a person's actions. I'm not talking about suspicion either. I'm talking about if it's repetitive, it's a part of their character. If it's ongoing, it's a part of their nature. There are people, believe it or not, it's in their nature to hate. It's in they can't help it. It's in their nature to be overly critical. It's in their nature to try to judge every little word, every little letter. I'm not talking about a person who is listening because they've noticed a pattern. I am talking about there are people in your circle and in this world who are just haters. This week, a friend of mine, he announced a business. In fact, I want you all to go support Harris Mortuary. The lead guy, the owner, the one running things over there, is Timothy Lanier Cole. And it instigated this conversation because it's an ongoing conversation that me and my friends have. We talk about it all the time, but I just decided to bring you in the mix. And in bringing you in the mix, I want you to know that just because a person says congratulations does not mean they mean congratulations. You'd be surprised at the amount of people that are sitting back banking on you to fail. I didn't know the world was so cruel. I didn't know the world could be so evil until I had to have a friend of mine point some things out to me. And like I say, if it's a pattern in people, and let me give you exactly what I'm talking about. People that can't just say congratulations, that's awesome, and keep it moving, but they have to put themselves some kind of way in the mix in this. It's very subtle. That's why subtle is a part of the subject. It's very subtle. Here is an example of what I'm talking about. You announce that you've got an engagement at Carnegie Hall, and you're going to be maybe at the inaugural opening of the Obama Center in Chicago, and you're the opening act. You're the one that they chose to headline the event, and people are saying congratulations to you. You tell the world, I'm going to be there. I've got a gig at Carnegie Hall the very next day. I'm going to be, which is June 17th, Juneteenth. I'm going to be the guest. I'm the headliner at the Obama Center in Chicago. And instead of people just saying, congratulations, they say stuff like, congratulations. You know, I never forget when I prophesied to you. Or congratulations, I never forget when I was praying for you. Or congratulations, I always knew you would be great. They have to attach themselves to your accomplishment in order for them to feel accomplished. That's subtle hate. They cannot allow you to be great by yourself. It's impossible. There's no way you're going to be great by yourself. We're going to get in on this, and we're going to use your head as the platform for which we stand. They cannot celebrate you without including themselves. They want to see you win as long as they are a part of the storyline for the win. Now it's deceitful. It's arrogance, it's pride, and it's subtle. You may think that person, they never do that. It's a part of their behavior because it's ongoing. What is wrong with you complimenting a person and leaving it alone? I'm just asking. And the reason you have to be careful of these type people, because if you were or are like I was, just a total novice at picking stuff like this out, thinking purely because through my eyes, I see through the lens of my own heart, and I had not yet been skilled to see how trifling people are. I hadn't developed that skill set yet. So I thought that everybody came to the party the way that I came, just to have a good time. No, there are certain people that came to the party to steal your shine, to steal your light, to put your light out. They gather information about you, then they go do the research. I never forget, we were in the process of one of the coffee shops that I own. This particular coffee shop I purchased, and we were in the process of transferring the paperwork, and it had my name as vice president. Well, the way we worked out the personal private deal, there are some things that had to happen before I completely took over. And they saw that I was the vice president, and they decided they're going to tell, well, he don't own that. That ain't his. It's not he. I'm telling you, it's not he the vice, because it started out as a partnership. And when I fulfilled my duty, I became the owner, the complete owner, without a partner. So people will do the research on you. They're going to study. They're envious of your success. Now, generally speaking, the type of person that goes to this extreme to prove your success is wrong are the same people who bring nothing to the table. And their only strength in life is to try to cast a shadow over your success. And you need to know who you are. You need to know who they are, because if you are blinded and you're trying to open the door for favor just to help somebody else, and they're one of your haters, then they will get on the inside. And they'll steal intel and tell your enemies and tell other people what you have going on privately. And you're giving them a free ride with your favor, and they are only there to bury you. You need to know who the Judas is in the group. Oh, Pickett, you. Pickett, you talking good. Yeah. You need to know who the Judas is in your group. You need to know the Judases around you. There's a skillful eye that has to be trained behind what people say and what people do. They cannot compliment you. They cannot celebrate you without including themselves. There's a level of arrogance that is there, and that level of arrogance that is there speaks to the unrefined person, or the part of them that has not been refined, and you don't know how bad that part of them is. So now again, you open the door of favor. They come in and ruin it for you and everybody else. And it was all because we had an unskillful eye, and we choose to trust people who are showing us they cannot be trusted. The prophetess Maya Angelou said it this way: when people show you who they is, believe them. When people show you who they is, when people show you who they are, believe them. Take them at their word. It's not you misjudging them. It's you acknowledging what they put before you. In other words, it's not you not being gracious, not trying to. No. They're telling you, they are showing you by what they say and what they do. They're showing you who they are. And when they show you you better believe them. And there's a difference between a person who and I'm gonna give you the difference on who you can trust and who you can't. There's a difference between a person who comes to the table and acknowledges, hey man, I got a problem. My weakness is this, and I struggle with this thing. Well, you can see in the transparency that there is effort on their behalf that comes or is coming from a place of truth, and their ability to be transparent and truthful to you, and they volunteer the information you didn't even ask, is them stripping themselves so that you'll know who you're dealing with. And I think that's good, because that type of person can be trusted. And that person can be a great person. They just have an issue. They have a problem, and they've exposed that problem. So as the relationships develop or envelops or goes further or strengthens, you already know what to look for because they've been honest and transparent. Because here's the thing: a liar, a deceiver, and a trickster will never be honest. They can't. The truth ain't in them. The truth is not in them. There's always something. There's always an attachment to what they do, and they're after something. You have people in the world, y'all. You got folk in the world. Hear me closely and carefully. You've got people in the world who are just genuine people. They just want to see you win. Let me say good morning to those of you that are on. Misha Demps, long time no see. Janelle, Lynette, Toby, good morning to you. Good morning to everyone on all of our platforms. I'm grateful that you decided to spend a portion of your morning with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for tuning in. So there's a level of honesty and dishonesty. There's a realm that people operate in. That realm generally it's a mindset. You can't trust a liar. A liar gonna lie. Birds gonna fly, fish are gonna swim, and liar is going to lie. And I did say fish are going to swim. Fishes are going to swims. Meaning, when a person shows you perpetual behavior that is ongoing, behavior that is consistent, that's who that person is. Now, let me show you a liar versus a person that lied. Person get in a jam. Let's bring Peter to the stand. Peter got in a jam. Peter went to cussing. He said, I told y'all I don't know him. I don't know the man. Blankety blank. And the reason he is Cassandra Williams Davies. What's up, girl? That's my fam there, her and Butch. Peter was in a jam. They was getting ready to kill him. They brought Jesus up, took him from judgment hall to judgment hall, and they was getting ready to crucify him. Peter knew, if I identify myself with him, he was in a jam. Pressure causes you to lie. And let me give you another sign of pressure. You ready? You speeding because you late for an appointment, late for an interview, late for a job, or you already got the job and you can't be late no more, or they're going to write you up and this is going to be the end of your job. That type of pressure causes you to speed. Now you're speeding. You You getting it. When I say you getting it, you are really, 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 really getting it. And you get Anita Hill. Good morning to you. Y'all do me a favor, invite somebody to share. Thank you all for joining me this morning. There is no coffee time without you. I'm just a mic and a man if I don't have nobody to talk to. So thank you for joining in. Anita Hill, that's right. Willie Ross and New Youth Community Choir for life. For life. So you're speeding. Police pulls you over and said, "Do you know how fast you were going?" You knew you were speeding. You say, "Oh, no, I don't." Pressure will cause you to yell a lie. Pressure will cause you to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. And just because you told that lie under pressure, that don't make you a liar. Peter went to cussing. Amen. Peter was like, "Listen, I love the Lord. All my heart, all my soul, and all my mind." But Peter said, I ain't ready to die now. I say I live for you. I didn't say I die for you. I ain't there yet. Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. So Peter denies him. Judas betrays him. Now, denial is a form of betrayal. So in principle, Judas and Peter did the same act. In principle. Here's the difference. Peter had a bad day. Judas had a bad heart. And in life, you're going to have to disciple through people who are just having a bad day versus the ones who have a bad heart. I'm going to say it again so y'all can hear me in the back. You're going to have to choose every day of your life. Some people just have bad days. Other people have bad hearts. They don't mean you no good. They're not looking at what they can give you, what they can contribute to you. They're looking at what they can take. Opportunist. They show up for opportunities. They're not there to support you, to help you. They're there to get something out of the deal. Now, let me be clear in this. There is nothing wrong if the relationship is transactional. If we can benefit each other, there's a benefit in it for me. There's a benefit in it for you. And that is what brings us together. The transaction brings us together. Then the relationship is transactional. What I'm talking about are people that you bring in as friends. People who are brought in on a level of trust that's not transaction. And you bring them in and they don't hold their end of the deal, or you bring them in as a friend and all they're doing is looking to see what they can get off you to further themselves and further their call and not include you. There are people you will bring in to help win, and when they start winning, they're going to treat you like they don't know you. This is why you have to operate from the right heart, from the right space. I'm very careful now. Because of a skillful, trained eye, because of some things I've had to go through, because I've got the right people in my ear. That's another thing. Accountability clears up the cloudiness of thought, the cloudiness of vision, and it causes you to see things you wouldn't ordinarily see because you got the right people in your corner. My circle will not allow me to make certain decisions because sometimes I can be pulled by my heart and pulled into the wrong place. And when you mean good and you're operating from a great place, you have to see even the immaturity in people. Some people aren't evil. They're just immature. Some people aren't evil. They're just ignorant. Some people aren't evil. They just don't understand. They've not been exposed to a high level of wisdom in operation. And as a result of that, they are a product of their environment. And because they are a product of their environment, they can only do what was given to them in the space where they've been in. So you gotta watch those people too, because they can be just as dangerous. Bernard B is in the house. Good morning, brother. You got to watch those people too, because they can ruin your favor and they're not trying to. So everybody is not wicked intentionally. Some people are just ignorant. They don't know. Let me give you, I have a few buildings, and one of the buildings, The lady wanted to lease this particular building. It's not an event center. I have an event center, but this building, it has an open space inside of it, but there are a lot of offices around. I mean, beautiful building, and God's been good. I didn't do it. God did it. So the lady had some things that she was going on that the space could benefit her. So I told her, I said, hey, why don't you use, it was one event she was having. Why don't you use this space here? She met me over there, showed her the space, told her you can use it. The only thing that I require is you to clean it. It's a pretty big deal, because I could have leased that space to her for about $4,000. I told her, no, I'm not going to do that. You just clean the place, get on your feet. All right. Came time to do a contract. She didn't want to sign. So you want me to be the only one to take a risk in this transaction? And the only reason we're here is I'm trying to help you. Well, I don't want to bind myself to nothing. Oh, you don't want to protect what's not yours. You're selfish. You're looking out for your own interests. The contract protects you and it protects me. And if you tear my stuff up, you have to watch those kind of people. I'm going to tell you another kind of person that you've got to watch. And they may not be evil at heart, but they're definitely ignorant in mind. Another kind of person that you got to watch are the people who they're not timely. They're not time. They don't. People that do not respect your time, they're missing something major. So the life I live, I'm on a schedule. I got stuff to do. People to see. Places to go. I'm not better than nobody. I'm grateful to God that when I was wild and he didn't destroy me, I'm really grateful. I don't think I've arrived. I'm still learning. But in order for me to fulfill the obligations that I have in the run of a day and stay on task, because I don't know if you know it or not, gas, $800 a gallon. It is $900 a gallon. And in order for me to have gas money and eat, I have to fulfill obligations. So I set my schedule. Hey, what time are we meeting? They say we're meeting. If we meeting 1 o'clock, you need to be there 15 minutes till, 10 minutes till, 5 minutes till. To be on time is late, and to be early is to be on time. Respect people's time. You waste my time, you waste my life. I get there. We were supposed to meet at 1. I get there about 10 till 1. I'm waiting in the parking lot, sending some text messages, and I text the person who I'm helping. Hey, are you here? No, I'll be there shortly. 1:15. Hey, where are you? They text back, not far. I leave, and they show up 1:23. Remember, I told you to show up early is to be on time. To show up on time, you late. 1:23, they show up, and I know it's 1:23 because I got the doggone camera on my phone. They show up 1:23, stay in the car, don't get out the car till 1:32. And where are you? I'm here. I told you I was on my way. Then they get mad and go off because I told them I had another appointment. And my next appointment was at 2 o'clock in Orange Park. I don't have time to wait for you. Have your stuff together. Oh, this is ugly. People don't like that. You don't waste somebody. You don't assume you have all the time in the world, because what you got going on, you got to be considerate to the other parties that have something to do with this situation. In other words, be considerate and gracious with time by being early. It's good character. You want to know why people are broken? They don't have anything. They don't respect principles. When you respect principle, live by principle, you can predict the outcome. I really believe I'm a billionaire. Now, manifestation ain't showed up yet. Still believe in God for the manifestation, but I live by a certain principle. I'm going to always have. Even in tough spots, he going to provide. I do right by people. I make my living off my giving. I'm always looking to help. Always. There's not one person on planet Earth that can tell you if I was on their team, I wasn't trying to look out for their win. The problem was I was more concerned with them winning than they were winning themselves. So I applied more pressure, more giving, more discipline than they did. Now, I'm not going to outwork you in integrity and discipline. And this your stuff? No, we ain't doing that no more. I did that for years. More concerned with helping other people. Angela Ford, good morning to you. More concerned with helping people going out my way. I'm doing all the work. And they still in the bed. You in the bed for 9 o'clock in the morning. Get your hip. You too broke to be asleep. Get up early. It's a discipline. And when you apply the right discipline, when you apply the right principle, you can predict the outcome. God always looks out for those that look out for others. But God expects you to open your eyes, see skillfully, think skillfully. And if you have a problem in those areas, you're always getting hurt, always getting a bruise, well, you part of the problem. Because if the same thing is happening, you've opened the door to the same thing, which means you don't have the wisdom to spot it afar off. And that just generally means you need to change your circle. Get around somebody smarter than you. People I run with, they're just as smart as I am. They in a lot of areas, they're smarter. I don't mind being around smarter people. It's not an insult to me that my circle is smarter. We complement each other. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There are things I miss, they catch. There are things they miss, I catch. We don't compete. We complement. Everyone in my circle got their own thing going on. We don't have to show up to everything that each of us have going on in order to support everything that each of us have going on. Everybody know. Don't call Pickett after 8:30. Not because I'm asleep. Okay, you're on the phone 7:30, 8 o'clock. My body go to shutting down. You can hear it. I will go to sleep on you. But I rise early. My point that I'm trying to make to you is your network determines your net worth. I know who you are and what you bring based on who you're around. You're around a bunch of deadbeats and you're the only one giving in those relationships. Guess what that means? You are your environment. And if you don't want to be your environment, then you have to change your environment. You got to get around someone better than you, smarter than you, that can help you see and train your eye. I look at everything now. I never forget a situation happened and somebody wanted to go in business with me and they knew nothing about the business. And Train said to me, "You didn't see that?" I'm like, "See what, Train? You didn't hear that? Hear what?" They want to go in and be equal with you, but it's going to be an imbalance. And the reason it's going to be an imbalance, you know more than they do. They've not been exposed to this field. So instead of them asking you to teach them, this is what I got out of it. This is what he was saying. Instead of them asking for you to teach them, they want to move in on what you got going on and pair themselves equal with you. And this is not, there are different types of partnerships. You have You have some partnerships where one person bears the burden of the finances. And I'm not talking about what you decide to do after you become partners, whose role is what. I am saying you don't need them. You're the chair and the table, and they want to partner with you. There's nothing that they can give you you can't give yourself. Why are they trying to become equal with you? It's because they don't believe you should be up there by yourself. They don't believe you're qualified to teach them. So with them becoming a partner, they get the education, they get to learn from you without having to submit to you because they're partners. It's subtle. It's so subtle you'll miss it. And when that boy pointed that out, I said, boy, you know what? I tease with him all the time. Boy, you done turned me against a lot of people. Because I will tell, hey, man, what do you think about this? Such and such said blah, blah, blah. And Gene's another one. Gene Dot. Gene will call me in a minute. Pick it. Call me yesterday. Pick it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.com. Governor Com is what I call him. Such and such and such. And you might want to watch such and such and such. And I know you're trying to help such and such, but I want you to know that they paid such and such this, and they don't want to offer you anything. So the problem with a giver, givers give. A giver makes their living off their giving, and what happened is people take advantage of them being givers, so they'd be willing to pay some white brother, but they want it free from you. They sell you a sad story, but got their portfolio when they go see the Asian brothers, the Caucasian brothers. And he was warning me of that. Here I am giving the best discount I can just to try and help. Well, helping you shouldn't kill me. People don't take into consideration the burden it is to be in business. And then don't you dare hold them accountable for messing your stuff up. Then they go on Google and complain about what you didn't do and he did this and he did. They never tell the part. They never tell the part that got you to that place. In business, I've had to keep people's deposits. One lady, I never forget, I delayed giving her a deposit and explained to her, hey, I had death in the family. It was on a weekend. And in the contract, we tell them it could be up between 14 to 21 days before you get your deposit back, your incidental deposit. That gives us enough time to inspect. So they broke a piece of furniture in the building. I know they broke it, or I felt like they broke it. The camera shows them pushing that piece of furniture. It does not show them breaking it. Now, I can assume, because it wasn't broke before they got there, I can assume they broke it based on what I saw on the camera. I can assume they broke that. But the camera doesn't show it. So I had a hard time, in my honesty, accusing them, even though they weren't supposed to touch it. So in the contract, it covers broken stuff, but it does not have don't touch the furniture. So I couldn't hold them accountable to what I couldn't bind them to. So I had a hard time going back and forth with our team about keeping their deposit. It took me about 2 weeks because I wanted to charge them, but a part of me was like, no, you're going to have to bite this because you don't have it in layman's term in this contract. So I decided, you know what, let me go and get these people that deposit. Well, by the time I'm giving them the deposit, they blowing my phone up. And I sent them a message. Hey, there's some things that we're looking at. I give them the deposit back and I tell them what took me so long to return the deposit. What took me so long is I am looking and I give them the scenario. They go to Google and complain against me. Now, in my heart, I said, the first thing that came to my mind, I should have kept that dog on deposit. I shouldn't even debated it. Should have kept it. But you have to see that people will never treat your stuff the way you treat it because they don't have anything invested. And they don't understand people that don't have anything. They've never been anywhere. They've always worked under someone who was totally responsible for everything. There's a different level of care that you have when you had to be the one to buy it, when you had to be the one to protect it, when you had to be the one that was responsible. It's a different level of care. You don't even want people to, don't you even stretch your toes out on my floor. And there's a subtle disrespect that people give you when they don't understand you, when they don't understand what you have. It can be birthed out of ignorance. It can be birthed out of jealousy. I don't care how it's birthed. You need to have a trained eye to be able to see it and see it afar off. They got an appointment with you and they ain't on time. It's speaking of their character. They have an appointment with you. They're running late, but they didn't communicate. They're speaking of their character. They're telling you who they are. You can't just listen to what people say. You got to watch them. If there's something going on, hey, I want to do Tuesday, but I'm in between meetings. I don't know. I'm going to be out of town Wednesday. If you're trying to do this now, you're going to have to be flexible for me with my schedule. I do it all the time. You're going to be flexible with me if you're able. And if you aren't able, we're probably just going to have to wait the next month. And it puts the responsibility on them to make the decision. This is how you spot out who's who. People that are for you are going to look out for your best interests. I've never not looked out for somebody's best interests. Never. Now, there are times when I've stopped talking and you didn't know what my interest was. That's usually because I was ticked or felt uncomfortable or saw something that I felt like even if I explained, you wouldn't catch it. So I'll back up from you. But you've got to train your eye to see the subtle liabilities. Subtle liabilities will ruin your favor. I'm going to say it again. Subtle liabilities. Liabilities that are not necessarily right in your face, they will ruin your favor. When God gives you favor with things and with people, you got to protect that favor. You can't bring the whole team in, Hammer. You can't pay for the block, Hammer. You trying to care for people and you don't know where they are in the process of becoming is you ruining your favor for yourself. Hey, that's Coffe time. Thank you for tuning in. You're born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you that the wisdom inside of you cannot handle. You got to calm down, slow down. You got to use wisdom and not emotionalism. Have emotional intelligence to be able to think things through. When you listen to wisdom, you will all win. Thank you for joining in with me this morning. Remember to think higher, speak life, seek wisdom, stay strong in all you're getting. Please get an understanding. Have a great day. Hopefully I can see you tomorrow right here. Same bat channel, same bat place.